Back to NSSF Friends with Benefits. My name is Crystal Newman.
And my name is Gaetano Kagwa. This is where when you save with NSSF, you win big.
Now, at the end of this competition, the winner will take a grand prize of 30 million shillings. Now, first runner-up will take 50 million and second runner-up 10 million shillings.
That's a lot of money. And these are individuals who have taken their benefits from NSSF and gone on to do something very inspirational. And we've been hearing their stories.
Now, at the end of today's episode, we will reveal who from last week has made it to the final 8. And let's just give you a brief recap. Now, last week, we met Matovo Kaizi from Hoima.
That's correct. He was able to improve his electricity business and also set up some rental units.
And then we heard from Mr. and Mrs. Ayoma from Arua.
Now, with their benefits, they were able to set up both primary and kindergarten schools.
And we heard from Benon Mugume from Liantonde.
He was able to set up both a nursing and midwifery training center.
Right now, we'd like to welcome back our amazing panel of judges.
Starting off on the far right, we have Mr. Stevens Mwanje.
Thank you.
And then looking lovely in white with a purple flower in her hair, Barbara Arimi.
Next to Barbara, who's the royal, and he's definitely not royal, is Mr. Paul Busharizi.
And of course, we have Mabel Chigundu. Welcome back. On today's Friends with Benefits, we head to Kachiri to meet Dr. Sylvia Enid and later Kanungu to meet Florence Byamugisha.
Let's start off with Dr. Sylvia Enid and hear her story once she received her benefits from NSSF.
I'm called Ntegeka Sylvia Enid. I am a medical doctor by profession and I'm 33 years old. I was deployed here in Bududa Hospital under an organization called SDS. They employed me to work in Bududa Hospital as a medical officer, and at that time, that's when I was serving with NSSF. It was a predetermined thing that it had to end at a certain time and then I get absorbed into public service. I received a benefit that is called exempted employment, and it basically means that if you've been working with a private organization and you cross over to public service, you can actually access your money. When I received the benefits, I quickly started a Jinga growing project. We've been doing this project for now a year. We are about 10 people doing different activities, removing of the weeds that are in the Jinga, and then spraying, basically monitoring the whole garden to see whether some animals have come in to destroy the garden.
Ekiseera kye bamaze nga batandika okuteekateeka entangawuzi ozisimba, kye kiseera kye mmazeemu mu ntangawuzi. Okuva lwe yatandika nange ne ntandika naye musawo, sisigadde kye kimu. Nsobola okwegulira kye njagala, nsobola okwegulira sabbuuni, nsobola okwegulira kasukaali, n'omwana wange nasobola okukola ki? Okusoma.
NSSF has helped me much because if I had not received that benefit, most likely I wouldn't have started. From the 1 acre to 4 acres now, Most likely the next time I harvest, I will even have about probably 10 acres. So NSSF money helped me to start, and I am seeing my business growing every day. If I had not saved with NSSF, I don't know what I would be doing to get that extra passive income that I'm getting. That gives me a free mind to concentrate here in hospital and give a service that is quality to the community. I'm a medical doctor, general practitioner. I get to see all kinds of people, from the mothers that are going to deliver, to the young babies, to children and adults. Baby boy, welcome into the world. I'm also responsible for training. Right now, I'm actually training a mixture of both primary and secondary teachers. We are training them on how to handle these adolescent girls and all the problems that they have, and to help them come up with better decisions that can better their lives in future. My mother's house was in bad shape, so I got some money, gave her, and at least right now the house is at least habitable for someone.
Sylvia bwe yaŋŋambako ekyokufinishinga ennyumba okunyambako, ne mubuuza esente ozigyewa, n'aŋŋamba nina esente zange ze natereka mu National Social Security Fund, njagala nkutuleko ekitundu naawe nkoleki nkikuwe tufinishinga ennyumba eno, kubanga wandibadde wagimala dda singa tekwali kukola ki kusoma kwaffe.
My mother actually labored to take me to school, and now if I can give a helping hand to make her life better and make it comfortable, it makes me joyful.
And that is Dr. Sylvia's story. Besides already saving lives as a medical doctor, she's found a way to help her community, supplement her income, and help her mother as well. Let's welcome Dr. Sylvia Enid. Welcome, please have a seat.
Thank you.
Did I call you Dr. Sylvia or Dr. Enid? Or just
I
doctor?
use all the names.
All the names?
Yeah.
I will hand you over to the judges right now because they would like to know a bit more about you.
Okay.
So I think today we shall start with Stevens Mwanje.
Okay. Thank you, Crystal. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very impressive, because quite often we think that people who have gone to school and attained all these titles, they feel that going back to farm or to dig is something beneath them. What made you take that step, which is unusual in our society?
First of all, I'm one woman who is always down to earth. So, and the other thing is the economy of Uganda is basically agriculture based. So, and agriculture is actually beneficial. So I decided to go into agriculture basically because of that, and I wanted to add something to the economy of the country.
Could you please share with us what challenges you have encountered?
One of the challenges basically, because I'm involved in many things, so there is what I would call workload on my side, and I get a little tired. But like I said, I counteract that with my husband helping me, and we do the things together. And then the other thing is we work on schedule, like in hospital, and that gives me enough time to do other things. The second challenge would really be the weather. It's unpredictable, and Jinga needs a lot of water. So when it's dry, it's rather, your yields might not be good. But still we have a way of counteracting that, and we are using manual watering. So basically those are my main challenges.
And just in case you won this money, what would you do with it?
One thing that I'm going to concentrate on is get land and expand more. And then the other thing that I want to actually get into is value addition, because that's when it becomes even more profitable. So I add value to the Jinga to help me achieve the bigger dreams in front.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, judges, for your questions. Now, if you would like to vote for Dr. Sylvia Enid, all you have to do is type vote Enid, that is ENID, and send that to 8338. Now, you can also vote online. Just go to www.nssfug.org. Now, when we get back from the break, we hear from one of our friends at NSSF so we can understand even better what the benefits are. It's NSSF Friends with Benefits.
Honey, who is that? Sweetie, who is that? Okay, now, who is she?
Honey, it's not what you think. She's NSSF Go. Here, see how much we've saved.
Oh my God.
NSSF Go is so easy you'll always want to know. Track your savings via online and mobile. Download the NSSF Go app or dial *254#. For more information, visit www.nssfug.org. NSSF, a better life.
Win big with Postbank Uganda over the next 4 months. Win a brand new Toyota Premio, Bajaj motorcycle and smartphones at only 20,000 Uganda shillings. All you need to do is activate your account with a minimum deposit of 20,000 shillings. Use your account at least 3 times monthly and maintain a monthly minimum balance of 200,000 Uganda shillings for 4 months to qualify for the weekly and monthly draws to win smartphones, flat screens and motorcycles and a grand prize of a brand new Toyota Premio. All existing, new and old Postbank customers qualify for the Win Big campaign. For more information on how to win big, visit any Postbank branch closest to you. Postbank, empowering you.
Welcome back to the NSSF Friends with Benefits show. My name is Guy Tano. Right, we do have the Managing Director of NSSF Uganda, Mr. Richard Byarugaba, here in the studio. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Guy Tano.
Now, we've been having lots of inspiring stories. Young people, old people, and some of these stories are so inspiring, we've had even tears. But we want to get a better understanding of some of the categories. And the 2 categories I would like to touch base with you, sir. There's the exempted category, and then there's also immigration grants. Let's start off with the exemption employment and what that's all about.
Well, the framers of the law that brought NSSF into place basically acknowledged that NSSF was a scheme with certain conditions whereby if somebody was working for the private sector, they had to attend to join. Right. However, the minister was given authority to be able to exempt some schemes. In other words, if you are contributing to NSSF and your circumstances change, for example, you now begin to work for government have their own scheme, and therefore that scheme is exempted from paying NSSF. However, the minister also has powers to exempt other schemes. For example, in the past, the scheme that was offered by the university, Makerere University, was exempted from paying NSSF. So basically, it allowed members of organizations to opt out of NSSF and actually work for or contribute to other schemes rather than the NSSF.
Okay, fantastic. Now, in Uganda, we have a phrase I'm sure you're very familiar with, outside countries.
Yes.
I'm going to live now in outside countries. I'm going to get married. I've got a new job. I'm leaving Uganda, traveling abroad. But I've been saving with NSSF, and I want to access my money. I've not yet reached the age of 55 or any of the other. So how do I then access my money, and can I access once I'm about to immigrate?
All right, so there is a special category of immigration grant, which is a benefit. It actually works mostly for people who come into the country, expatriates, and are working here, and obviously are going back to their countries. Obviously, they've they've left.
Right.
But let's talk about the category of Ugandans who might have joined the NSSF scheme and their circumstances change. For example, they get married to a Muzungu,
right,
and they've got therefore to immigrate
right,
to the new country in which they are living, and it's perceived that they will never come back to Uganda because their circumstances have changed. So the immigration grant was to allow such individuals to be able to opt out of NSSF, get their benefit, and then go abroad and begin to contribute to another scheme.
Well, thank you so much indeed, Mr. Richard Byarugaba, the MD of NSSF Uganda. Please give him a round of applause. Now let us find out from our next contestant what they're doing and how their benefits from NSSF have actually helped them. Time for us to meet Florence Byamugisha.
I started saving with NSSF when I joined Kenya Uganda. That was 1994. Kenya yastopinga mu 2022. My husband passed away. That time was very challenging. When I did not have any work at all, I met NSSF staff who were sensitizing people around. They requested me to go to Kavari. And in Kavari, they just processed my check and I came back with my money. I received an age benefit. This is a house that I completed with the money that I got from NSSF. With this money, I also established a tea garden. I started with like 6 acres. Then from 6, I added 4 to make 10. Then I established another garden of 3 acres. Now in total, I have 13 acres of tea. It has also impacted onto the community because the community gets money from me and it gives me a good name actually. When I'm passing by, you say, "Hi, madam." This is Mr. Oscar Nimpereza Kasia, and as a little child, he used to visit me and got interested in what I was doing, especially with the tea. And he got a mind to start with tea nursery bed.
So about 3 years ago, I started slowly and small. And she used to come, motivate me, go see how she does. She gives me some of her workers to come and assist me, and more so give me hope beyond hope, and gave me the necessary connections in terms of her supplying. And at the end of the first 1 year, I did a supply, and from there I've not looked back. Today I'm in position to supply close to over 500,000 seedlings. The people I've seen who have abandoned the nursery beds because of even having wrongful calculations, because this nursery bed takes a whole year before you can offload it. So I want to believe that had it not been her effort in guiding me into this business, probably, you never know, I would have even closed it halfway. I'm proud to have her for being around me to encourage, and my appeal is her to live longer and even encourage many more people in Kanungu.
We are at Kayonza Tea Factory, is where I deliver my tea, and I'm a shareholder of the factory.
We export our tea to the outside world through the Mombasa auction. A successful farmer, woman farmer like Florence Mugisha, if you visited her farm, if you are a buyer, even if you are not from the field, you will know that this is superior quality of tea. So we rely on her deliveries. Florence was lucky to have worked and saved with NSSF.
I own cows, I have goats, I looked after the children, I sent them to school. At least I'm happy and proud that I received the money. When I see my tea plantation or when I'm walking through, I feel very, very happy. I feel very proud. People need to know more about NSSF because people think that money is being stolen, money is being taken away from them. Because like the first time I was told that I would pay 5% of my salary when I was working with Kenya, I just was not amused. But then later, when I got the first batch of money I got, I was very excited.
Nimpagira abakozi babike na NSSF abo kuba mu biro by'omumisho nikija kubagasira nyo nimpura proud abo kugira ngu nkasevinga na NSSF.
Welcome back to the NSSF Friends with Benefits show. Yes, now before the break, we saw and actually heard the story of Florence Byamugisha from Kanungu and her tea success story. And she's here in the studio. Please give her a round of applause. Florence, it's a real pleasure to have you over here. And we were watching your video over there. All right, let's go over to our judges. I'm sure they have plenty of questions that they have for us.
Florence, very interesting the way you've grown your the tea estate particularly.
Yes, sir.
From 4 acres to 11 and you're going on.
Yes, sir.
But you're the finished product. We are seeing you when you have climbed the mountains, gone into the valleys, come out the other side. Could you tell us some of the challenges, maybe moments during this whole project that you thought it's too hard, let me let it go, and maybe how you pulled out of those dark moments?
You know, when you have the will, it just pushes, just moves you forward. I know it's difficult. Tea planting is not an easy project. We experience weather variation. There is time for when it is drought, you can hardly get even 100 kilograms from all that garden that I have explained. So the workers will want their regular pay because they too come out to work for money. You can't say because now you have plucked only 20 kilograms, I'll give you 2,000 shillings. You'll say, as I'm a head of my family, how do I get 2,000 shillings? So you have to pay extra to make him come another time, because if you don't pluck, then the next month or the next season, the tea will not be ready for being plucked. So you have to forego that money and allow your workers to enjoy that money, because there is no alternative to that.
Fantastic, fantastic. I've got to ask you one last question, and all it requires is one word. If you could describe NSSF and what it has done for you as far as receiving your benefits, if there was one word that could describe NSSF, what would that word be?
Beneficial.
I think beneficial is the best way she could put it. Well said. We're going to go for a short break. But before we do that, if you would like her to benefit, why don't you vote for Florence Byamugisha? And if you want to do that, type vote Byamugisha and send that to 8338. You can also do it online, www.nssfug.org. That simple. Now, when we come back, we shall reveal who will be going through to the final 8 from last week's show. You remember them. So keep it right here on the NSSF Friends with Benefits. Hashtag Friends with Benefits. That's better.
When I started out, all I had was my dreams, a belief that every man deserves his own home. I got myself a mortgage from Housing Finance Bank and I built this house. I say house because it only became a home when she came into the picture. Like me, she believed we had to build our future. We had a child and needed to open a Total Treasures account. My wife's farming business was boosted with a Housing Finance agribusiness loan. My friend Brian was so inspired. He took out a salary loan and started his own hardware. The thing is, people know Housing Finance Bank to be the most reliable mortgage bank. So did I. Housing Finance has done more than help me build a house. It helped and is still helping us build a future as a family. Housing Finance Bank. We make it easy.
Housing Finance Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Thank you so much and welcome back to the NSSF Friends with Benefits show, where in a very short while we shall be revealing to you who from last week's show, and there were 3 individuals who will be going to the next, or rather the final 8, and a chance to win 30 million shillings, 15 million shillings, or 10 million shillings.
But let's just remind you who we had on the show today. Florence Byamugisha, as well as Dr. Sylvia Enid. Now, to vote for Dr. Sylvia Enid, just type vote Enid and send that to 8338. And to vote for Florence Byamugisha, just type vote Byamugisha and send that to 8338. Now, you can, of course, vote online by going to www.nssfug.org.
That's right. Keep the conversation going. Keep it flowing. Keep it popping. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is use the hashtag Friends with Benefits. It's now time for us to reveal. I'm going to reach into my pocket over here because the votes have been counted and verified by PricewaterhouseCoopers. So let's get straight to it. And the individual who will be going to the final 8 because they caught your eye and ear with their inspiring story is
Matovu Kaizi. Congratulations to you, Matovu Kaizi. We will be seeing you later on NSSF Friends with Benefits.
That's right.
Now, special thanks goes to Afros and Mo for hair and makeup, as well as Joy and Mo for dressing our judges.
That is correct. Now, we do have to say goodbye, but we shall be back next week with more contestants.
Till then, bye-bye.
Bye.